Hey homies, it's Zach, Ohio skater, coming from the Summit County Metro Parks hike and bike trail. I did, in one of the videos I made in the past couple days, today and yesterday, I did say I was on this trail yesterday, but I lied. I was on the towpath yesterday. I didn't film when I was there, but I was on the towpath, which is a different trail, which is a national park trail. This is a local park trail. I'll make more videos from the towpath, but this is my favorite, just walking trail. This one right here. I think this one's better than the towpath, but either way, I'll make more videos from the towpath. But right now we're on the Summit County Metro Parks hike and bike trail. I'm wearing my Cleveland Browns hat. Go Browns! Season's over. But I got this hat for Christmas. My brother got me this hat. I actually picked it out and said that I wanted it. My brother got it for me for Christmas. Check it out. And so in the last game of the season, my dude Myles Garrett, who's on the Browns defense, he got a league record. He got the record for most sacks in a season. He got it in the second half, and the whole first half and the whole game up to it. I was watching with my brother, and we were really hoping he'd get this record. I'd been really sad if he didn't get that record, but he got it. And the Browns also won the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Browns aren't going to be in the playoffs, unfortunately. The Browns usually suck big time, but the Browns have, this past season, had one of the best defenses in the league, thanks in part to Myles Garrett. But we just weren't as good on offense. But maybe next year. Every Browns fan always says maybe next year, maybe next season. It's tough to be a Browns fan. They usually kind of suck, but us Northeast Ohioans are very loyal to the Browns, and it's fun to watch them, whether they're good or bad. Everyone has a home team, and so yeah, looking forward to next NFL season. Watch the Browns play again. But this playoff season, the playoffs this season should be pretty good. I'm excited for the Super Bowl and shit. Yeah. So, but I really don't know a lot about sports. I watch the games, but I don't watch sports news TV shows or anything like that. Like a lot of people who are real big into sports too. So I don't know. I'm not an expert or anything, but I watch the games of the teams I like, which is the Cleveland Browns, and then in the NCAA, the Ohio State Buckeyes and the University of Cincinnati Bearcats, because I went to the University of Cincinnati. That's where I went to school. So yeah, those are the teams I watch, and I don't really watch much else other than the Super Bowl and the NCAA championship when they happen. But also I know I made some videos a long time ago about how I was getting into UFC. Obviously, I've been doing all this martial arts training and stuff like that. And UFC is really fun to watch. That's probably my favorite sport to watch, honestly. And I did have ESPN Plus because it was on ESPN Plus. But I had to cancel my ESPN Plus account. I just didn't have enough money for it. But I got really lucky because now UFC is on Paramount Plus, which I made that video about Paramount Plus yesterday. Obviously, I have Paramount Plus, and I don't think I'm going to lose that for the time being because my parents pay for that one. I myself was paying for ESPN Plus, but my parents pay for the Paramount Plus, and so I'm definitely going to have Paramount Plus for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to be watching lots of UFC. I already have been watching some UFC on Paramount Plus. They haven't shown any new UFC matches on Paramount Plus yet. That starts, I think, on January 24th, but which my birthday is the 26th. My birthday is January 26th. I'm going to be 29 years old. Yes, I am almost 30 years old. On the 26th of this month, I will be 29 years old, 1 year away from being 30. So my 30s are creeping up on me. But anyway, yeah, UFC is on Paramount Plus now, and they have like these old collections of like old UFCs. Like they have like every 2000s UFC match, yeah, and like every 2010s UFC match. I've been watching the 2010s ones. I picked a random year. I just picked like 2015 because that's the year I graduated high school, and I thought that would be like a good year to pick, you know. So I've been watching some of the 2015 matches and fights, you know. But I'm gonna go watch some 2000s ones too, and I have some UFC DVDs that I got from the exchange, which is like a media, like a DVD, Blu-ray, CD, vinyl, video game store here in Northeast Ohio. Like used stuff you can trade in stuff too, and they have a whole section of like sports DVDs. And I got some UFC DVDs that are like pretty old, but they're pretty cool. I've been watching a bit of those, but yeah. So now that UFC is on Paramount Plus, I'm gonna be hella watching it, like actually a lot. But yeah. Anyway, so I got so after I make this video, I'm gonna be walking like longer than this video is gonna be. So I brought my Beats, which I got for Christmas as well. I told you I got this hat for Christmas, and my mom got me some Dre Beats for Christmas because I didn't have any headphones to walk with anymore. Like all my headphones got lost or broken. So my mom, she told me even that she felt really bad that I didn't have any headphones. So she got me some of these Beats. And she asked me like before Christmas, she was like, what type of headphones do you like? And I was like, I like the ones that go over the ear. You know, like the pads that surround your ear, you know? I told her I like those ones. And she was like, hell yeah, I'll get you some of those. So she got me these. And been listening to a lot of Spotify. I made the newest playlist I made that I've been listening to a lot is a classic rock playlist. I love classic rock, like 60s, 70s, 80s. Actually, before I went back to using Spotify a lot, I didn't have an aux cord on my card either. I didn't have headphones and I didn't have an aux cord. But these Beats came with an aux cord, so I've been using the aux cord again. But before that, I was listening to the radio and I was listening to like the two rock channels, the 97.5, which is like Akron's classic rock channel, and they play like 70s and 80s. And 106.9, I think it is, which is Canton's rock channel, and they don't just play classic rock, they play modern rock too, 106.9, so that's cool. Been hearing some like rock on the radio and stuff. Those are the only two channels I would listen to, the rock channels. But I got back on Spotify and I made this classic rock playlist, which is mostly like 60s and 70s. Let's see, it's got Jimi Hendrix, it's got Fleetwood Mac, it's got Jefferson Airplane and Jefferson Starship, and it's got Boston, it's got Electric Light Orchestra, it's got Heart, it's got Janis Joplin, it's got did I say Rush? Did I say Rush already? It's got Rush. I don't know, but and what else? The Doors, love the Doors. Got the Doors. All sorts of shit like that. And it's been great. And I remember back in high school, I would like, my friends and I started collecting vinyl in high school, like the friends I would hang out with in high school. And we would do this thing called Tunes and Brews, where we would go vinyl shopping, and then we would come back and like drink beer and listen to the vinyl we bought. And we were underage then. We were like 17, 18, so underage drinking, classic, you know. But we would mostly buy like classic rock records, and I was really into Jimi Hendrix back then. I loved Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix is probably my favorite classic rock artist, but I just love everything about, Steve Miller and Tom Petty are also on that playlist. Those are two really good artists. Yeah, I just love everything about classic rock. I mean, like, the old school hippie vibes. Like, people make fun of, like, boomers, like, they're really old, like, and people pretend they're, like, conservative and stuff, like, like, freaking boomers. But, you know, the boomers, like, were the hippies back then. The boomers were the hippies, you know? And so I low-key respect boomers sometimes because they were, like, sticking it to the man, like protesting, listening to rock and roll, protesting the Vietnam War back in the day. A lot of the boomers were doing that shit, and so you should watch out when you criticize boomers, honestly. I mean, sometimes they deserve it, but that was the classic rock generation, you know? And I still love classic, I mean, not still, because I wasn't alive back then, but I love classic rock. Like, all the hippie shit, you know? I would consider myself a hippie, maybe not outwardly so much all the time. Like, I'm lots of things. I'm like hippie, hipster, punk, skater, stoner, all those things. But a lot of times I just dress like a normal dude, you know, hip hop style too, you know, a little bit of hip hop style, street, underground, you know. But yeah, and also like, I don't know, like a lot of the other music I listen to is like indie type stuff from the music from like this day and age that I listen to. A lot of it is like indie type stuff that I got into back when I was real young, because I watched like skateboarding montages, like skateboarding video parts and shit. And they used a lot of that music in like skate videos. And I got really into like the indie-tronica shit. Like it's like indie-tronica or like alternative pop type shit, like MGMT or management, whatever you want to call it, MGMT management, Starfucker, Passion Pit, Phoenix. I didn't really listen to a lot of Phoenix, but Phoenix was good. And I guess more new stuff in that genre is like Superorganism and TV Girl. I really like that genre. It's just like, it's so trippy, you know? It's like, I don't know, it's like made with computers and shit, and like on those radio stations, that 97.5 classic rock radio stations, sometimes they say some shit like, oh, like all the shit's made with computers these days. Like, if it sounds good, it sounds good, you know? Like, I don't give a fuck, but I mean, real instruments are very impressive to play, but I don't know, they mix like real instruments with that shit too. And they got like the key pad, like the keyboard pad that they actually like play, you know what I'm saying? Like, that makes all those trippy noises with like the indie-tronica stuff. That music is great for skateboarding, and it's just so trippy, you know. But like more recently, I've been getting into like punk, a lot of punk stuff. Like the classic punk I'll be listening to is like Bad Religion, and like I think further back than that was like The Clash. I think Bad Religion is like 80s, 90s, and The Clash is like 70s and shit. I don't quote me on that, I don't know, but The Clash is good, Bad Religion is good. In high school, I was into like that beach punk, like that surf punk, like Waves, the band Waves, and like Fiddler. Fiddler's a good band. I still listen to them. Some of their more new stuff, you know. But most recently I got like really into like folk punk. Like folk mixed with punk. Like in my yoga and tai chi video, all those songs were Defiance, Ohio, which is like a folk punk band, or like anti-folk or like folk punk, which like my Spotify Wrapped this past year had like anti-folk and folk punk on it, and I didn't know what anti-folk was, but I was talking to someone on Discord and they told me what it was. It's like, I guess it's like alternative or indie folk music. Like they call it anti-folk because back in the day, like folk was getting like really mainstream and popular, and so they created anti-folk as like a reaction to that, to like bring it back down to like the I don't know, like the underground, I guess, you know, like more DIY type stuff, more indie, more alternative, to keep it like, to make it not lose its soul, you know what I'm saying? And modern anti-folk is very close to folk punk. So I've been listening to both of those a lot, and a lot of times I don't even know the difference, but I just call it folk punk most of the time. But some bands like Defiance, Ohio, like I already said, or another really good band is called the Window Smashing Job Creators. They're amazing, oh my lord. And they call that shit, I saw on like one of their pages, they call it like jazz punk kind of, because they use like jazz instruments too, but it's very folksy. It's definitely, I would consider it folk punk. And another band which I think is more like anti-folk because it's more like rock, but it's definitely combined with some folk. It's like this band called Mischief Brew. Mischief Brew is really good. They're more like rock, like kind of what you would normally think of like rock and roll, not always super like punk, but they're really good. And yeah, and of course, I mean, when I was really young, I mean, the only thing I would listen to was hip hop, like in middle school and shit. The only thing I would listen to is hip hop and rap and shit back in the day. That was most popular among people my age at that time, and I still love hip hop and rap. I was yesterday on the trail. I was only listening to my hip hop playlist. You know, I like the classics like Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Tribe Called Quest, Farside, Souls of Mischief, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube. Dr. Dre still makes music, and his newer music that he made for like the Straight Outta Compton movie, I have that album on vinyl. That's a really good album, actually. He's still making awesome music. And of course, in the 2000s, he was working with Eminem. Dr. Dre's had a long career. But also, I like more new stuff like Joey Badass, Kendrick Lamar. My brother got me Good Kid, Mad City on vinyl for Christmas. And like a few years ago, he got me To Pimp a Butterfly. So my brother's been giving me like some Kendrick vinyl. I also have Untitled, Unmastered, and Damn that I bought myself. So I got 4 Kendrick Lamar albums on vinyl. And I love Tyler, the Creator. I got 2 Tyler, the Creator albums on vinyl. I got Wolf and Flower Boy. Those are both great albums. Tyler, the Creator is amazing. And Earl Sweatshirt's awesome. But yeah, Joey Badass is probably my favorite rapper. And then like a little earlier, like the early 2010s and like the 2000s, I like Lupe Fiasco and like Common and shit like that. And in Blue was I think really good around that time. Blue's more underground, more unknown, more indie actually. Like, and then there's like MF Doom. As you can tell, like rap is what I have mostly listened to in my life. Like, it was my favorite for a long time. But lately I've been getting back into like the rock shit, all sorts of like rock stuff, like the classic rock and the punk. But like Indie-Tronica's always been there too. I always loved Indie-Tronica. And yeah, so that's basically like my music taste right there. I mean, I like all that shit that I just talked about in this video. It's like, it's all very good to me. And yeah, if you fuck with it, make a comment saying you fuck with it, or drop some recommendations of some other shit that's kind of close to it. I'll listen to it. And yeah, so like yesterday I talked about like some TV shows I was watching on Paramount Plus. There's some other TV shows that I've been watching that I didn't include in that video because they're not on Paramount Plus, and I just wanted to make like one video about Paramount Plus. But there's another show I've been watching on Netflix, and it's called Department Q, and it's a British show, and it takes place in Scotland, but like the main character is like English, but he like moved up to Scotland or something. But he's like a detective, and he gets put in charge of this new department where he solves like cold cases. Like a cold case is like a case that wasn't solved originally, and then sometimes they open them back up and go try to solve them again. And so he tried to solve cold cases, and he's also like in the very beginning of the show, on the very opening of the first episode, like it shows some shit that he went through, like a little earlier, that takes place like before the show really happens, but it shows you this glimpse of what he went through, and he has to go like therapy. And it's also about like his mental health and like his relationship with his therapist. And then he's got like a team, his sidekicks. They're really cool. They both have like interesting personalities, interesting stories. And I guess there's only one season so far, and I guess the way they're doing is one crime per season, like one crime that they solve per season. But like, also I think throughout the whole show he's gonna be trying to solve like the shit that happened to him before the show started, like the shit that made him go to therapy. He's like, that's low-key gonna be going on throughout like the whole show, I think. But like really there's like one main crime that they focus on each season, and the first one is crazy. It's about like this prosecutor she was a prosecutor and she goes missing, and they try to find her, and like, you'll have to watch it because it's crazy. Like, and I've always wanted to visit Scotland. I went to the UK one time. It's actually the only time I've been out of this country. I went to the UK. I went to London, and I had an amazing time. And then I always figure when I go back to UK next time, I'm gonna go to Scotland. Definitely check out Scotland. So yeah, that should be cool. And then another show I've been watching is like, it also takes place in the UK, but it stars an American. And this show's on like Apple TV. I don't have Apple TV, but I bought the discs of this show. It's a pretty expensive show. The discs were pretty expensive, but there's a lot of seasons. But it's on Apple TV, so of course that's Apple. Like every Apple shit is expensive. That's probably why it was expensive. But it's Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is a great show. It's hilarious. It's a comedy. It's about this guy who's like he was a college like Division II football player, and he won like the Division II football championships, like American football championships in America. And then he gets hired to coach soccer, or like what they would call football, like soccer in the UK, on a Premier League team. And he basically gets hired because like the owner of the team like wants the team to fail. I won't spoil it, but she wants the team to fail. And so she hires him because she basically thinks he's going to do a shit job. But he's like low-key doing a good job. He's really like, he's got this like side coach, the sidekick coach that's also a coach. He calls Beard because he's got a beard. And he actually studied a lot about soccer. He was helping him coach football back in America, but he went with him to coach soccer, and he was studying a lot about soccer, and he like knows, he learned a lot about it, and he's been helping the team, and like, but Ted Lasso, the main guy, the American guy, like the other coach is American too, but like Ted Lasso, he's like a cowboy type. He's from like Kansas. He's not like a cowboy type, but he's like country, like from Kansas, like the middle of nowhere, Kansas kind of shit, but he's like cowboyish, but he's like so kind. He's so nice, and he's like overly nice, and he's just positive. He loses his shit one time so far that I've been watching it, but it's because this player on the team really is pissing him off. Like, the players at first don't really like him because they think, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? The fans hate him. They call him wanker. They scream wanker at him all the time from the stands and in the bar when they're watching the game. Wanker, wanker, wanker. And it's fucking hilarious. But it's just a good show, and I've been watching that with my brother. I brought some DVDs over to my parents' house. My brother's living at my parents' house again now. I brought some DVDs over to my parents' house and asked my brother, like, what do you want to watch? And he chose Ted Lasso, so I've been watching Ted Lasso with him. And it's cool to watch it with my brother, spend some time with my brother. I love my brother, but yeah, it's a good show. Also, like, some movies I've been watching lately. Some other, like, DVDs that I brought over to my parents' house. Because my parents are in Florida. They're on vacation right now. They're in Florida. My grandpa lives in Florida during the winter. They went down with my grandpa to move him into his house, and they spent some time in Florida. I've been staying over at my parents' house while they're away, and I brought some DVDs over. And so, but my brother didn't watch these ones with me. So, like, yesterday in that video I made about Paramount Plus, I was talking about, like, the shows that take place, like, in the wilderness, in the mountains, with the trees and shit, in, like, places I want to live, places I would love to live out in nature with the trees and the mountains and shit. And these two movies are also take place in those type of settings, which I'll watch anything like that. I'll watch anything like that. I mean, I just love it. One of them is like really trippy, and one of them is like hilarious. But the first one's like Mandy, and it stars Nicolas Cage. It's called Mandy, right? And Nicolas Cage, he lives with his girl in the forest and shit, and he's like a logger. He works in like logging or whatever. And his girl gets taken away, like kidnapped. And the people that kidnap her are these like crazy, evil hippies. Like, I know I was just talking about how I'm sort of hippie and I like hippie stuff, but these are like those evil type of hippies that I'm not about, like the evil hippies, you know, but they're like evil hippie. It's like an evil hippie Christian cult, and they like trip on acid all the time. It's crazy. It's so trippy. And like Nicolas Cage has got to go on this like adventure through the woods to find her. And sorry, my phone just ran out of space. I had to delete some stuff, so I'll just put this video next to that other video in iMovie, and we'll make it one video. So I'm still talking about Mandy, that movie with Nicolas Cage. So yeah, where I left off, he has to go on an adventure to find her, and he comes across these trippy ass characters and like trippy enemies that he's got to battle and shit. It's not really like horror, but it's so trippy. It's kind of like horror. It's kind of like a bad trip, but really it's like an action adventure movie that he's got, like that he fights all these people, you know. And like there's a big showdown at the end in this like church, this trippy ass church, and there's like chainsaw fights, and he rides on like a 4-wheeler and shit, and it's just so cool. It's very psychedelic. If you like psychedelic shit, you'll love it. And Nicolas Cage is always in weird ass movies like that. It's super dope. But anyway, the other movie that takes place in like this foresty ass mountain type place takes place in like Georgia, which is like the Chattahoochee National Park, which is like mountains in Georgia that look really cool, that I would totally live. Another place I would live amongst, slid a little there, amongst the mountains in the forest there. It's called Cocaine Bear, and it's amazing. You probably heard of it. It's like a popular movie, but it's like a shitty movie. Like, I was talking to this guy on Discord. He's like, that's one of the shittiest new movies. And I was like, well, it's so shitty, it's good. It's one of those movies that like knows it's shitty, and that's why it's good, because it goes along with how shitty it is. But it's like good bad, like so bad you want to keep watching it. But it's so hilarious. And it's about like, so at the beginning there's this guy in a plane, and he's throwing bags of cocaine out of the plane, and he's doing the cocaine, and but he like hits his head when he tries to jump out of the plane, and he falls to his death, and all this cocaine is just out in the woods, you know. And a bear gets into it, like a bear from nature, like a big bear, and he does all the cocaine, and he goes on like a rampage, and like kills a bunch of people, and it's gruesome. It's like gory, violent, and it's just so entertaining to watch this bear chase these people around. And there's these kids that go out, they skip school and they go out into the park because they want to go paint a waterfall. Like there's a tradition where they take paint to this waterfall and they paint the waterfall. And so they go out on this hike and they find the cocaine. The little kids do the cocaine. It's hilarious. Like little, like grade school kids, like they're probably like 10 years old, and they do the cocaine. It's fucking hilarious. And there's this park ranger that goes out, that helps his mom find the kids, and some shit has with the park ranger. And there's these kids and like teenagers in the park that are like troublemakers and shit. And there's also these dudes that are trying to go find the cocaine, like the gangsters that sell the cocaine. They get sent to go like try to find this cocaine. And there's like law enforcement officer who like tries to go find the cocaine as well. And it's just like, and the setting is dope. Like the setting is super nice, like out in the forest, like beautiful forest, beautiful landscape, but like this bear going on a coke-filled rampage through the forest, and all these different characters, and it's really entertaining. I love it. It's like it's gonna be a classic for me. It's sort of a new movie, but I think it's gonna end up being one of my personal classics, because I love shitty movies like that, like movies that are so shitty that you just can't stop watching them. Like that shit's just entertaining to me. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I really got to talk about right now. Let's see, talked about the Browns, talked about some UFC, talked about a lot of music, talked mostly about music. I wanted to talk about music because I haven't talked about music enough on this channel. I've been talking about some TV shows mostly here and there, but wanted to give you a sense of my music taste. and wanted to talk about some other shows that I couldn't talk about yesterday in the video yesterday because they're not on Paramount Plus. The video yesterday was about Paramount Plus, but and then some movies. I want to talk about more movies. I gotta watch some other movies. I got a huge collection of movies. I watched them. I've watched a lot of them. I'll talk more about some. I'll make some more videos about some movies soon, so we can get a break from like the TV shows, because movies are good too. But I hope you enjoyed like me talking about the two movies I talked about today. Those are good movies. Mandy and Cocaine Bear, good movies. Both take place in like the forest. Like I said, in the same type of shows on Paramount Plus that I was talking about yesterday. Places I would love to live. I'll watch anything like that takes place in this like majestic ass forest environment with mountains and shit. I love shit like that. And so that's why I watched those two movies recently, because I wanted to get. I look for that vibe all the time. I hunt for that vibe, and I wanted to get some of that vibe in me the other day through some movies as well. And so but anyway, I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to turn around now, and I'm going to throw on my beats and listen to some music. There's a porta potty up here. I'm going to use the porta potty, and I'm going to like put these two videos together in iMovie on my phone right now, and render it, then upload it, and hopefully it's uploaded by the time I'm done. I'll get home, I'll watch it, review it, and it'll be another. I've been making hella videos lately. I made those two like political commentary videos a few weeks ago. Those were good, I think. And then I made the Paramount Plus video yesterday, the workout video today where I did that yoga and Tai Chi. That was dope. And another media type video today that I made on the trail while I was walking. Wanted to get out on the trail, but also wanted to talk while I was out on the trail. And yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. I'll make more videos soon. I'm trying to get in a groove where I make a lot of videos, because I'm in the game, I'm in the mode right now where I want to make a lot of videos. So I made like 2 videos already in the past like 24 hours. It really was yesterday and today, but making another video now. Gonna try to stay in the groove. Maybe I'll throw in some politics again later today or tomorrow. Some more politics for you. There's a lot of political stuff going on, but anyway, hope you enjoyed. Peace.